I see. Got it. Okay. Yeah. Sorry for those. Sorry for the interruption. So I just realized that we have to record it this way. We can't record it using the um, future classroom situation. Okay. But in any case, yes. For those of because we just started this recording, I just want to update the um, those who will look at this video later on that we just started, and I'm just going through the fact that we have NTU Taiwan across Zhongyang, the linguistics program, and the graduate brain science institute program. All right. Okay, so then I'm just finished off talking about the Taiwan BrainHack School and the different course names. Here we are called Brain Data Analysis. In the linguistics, it's Neuro-Linguistics Seminar. In Zhongyang, I'm not sure what their name is, but it's a different name. But they're all doing the same BrainHack School Taiwan curriculum. Okay, so as I said, we are doing this year, we are not only just worrying about Taiwan, we also are working with colleagues and students in Nanyang Technological University, Singapore, also NTU, all right? So the abbreviation is we are BHS TW NTU for those of you in NTU, or NCU for those in Zhongyang, okay? And if you're in Singapore, then you are BHS SG NTU, okay? So there's a lot of NTUs flying around. Don't get confused, okay? In fact, sometimes we will say NTU Square or NTU, and then like, you know. So we are not the only NTU, 台大学生, okay? So just bear that in mind when you make connections. Later on, there will be communication over Discord with people from Singapore. So just be aware of that, okay? And why that's special is because at the end of this semester, we hope that they can come over for an exchange program. So the Singapore students and teachers will fly here, and we will have it like the last week of the course. It's still a bit tentative what the exact format will be, but I think it's very likely that during the last week of this course, which is going to be beyond June. So Taita, we finish in end of May or early June. We might kind of spill over to the week after that, okay? And we will adjust things accordingly, okay? Because I know some of you have exams and things like that, but just bear that in mind that we might have to extend the course a little bit one more week to accommodate the Singapore students coming for the exchange visit. It should be okay because for the most part of this course, you're not coming to class anyway, right? You only come really at the last month. So just one more week after that. That's the idea. And they will come here, exchange. We're going to have a good time. Like everyone is going to be interacting with their research. And then it'll be like a symposium, okay? And, you know, and then have fun together, you know, go and or whatever, then go and play, all right? And then learn brain science, okay? So that just to bring that up, that therefore, that's why we are having this a little bit of change and a bit more ambitious kind of thing. We are linking up with Singapore. And that being said, obviously, BrainHack School is not just a Taiwan or Singapore thing. It's actually an international thing. And actually, at the end, the last month, where we will be interacting more actively, it's actually supposed to be interacting with not just us here in Asia, but the whole world. Okay, there are other BrainHack School hubs. I'll talk more about that later. And so it's an international affair. Okay, cross time zones and things like that. That's why we use Discord. That part of it with the other international groups beyond Singapore, we are not so sure yet because they have their own schedules, right? So we are doing it on our part starting now. They actually haven't started yet. And they may or may not start this year. I mean, really always depends on funding or depends on how they organize. But they start organizing a little later and we'll find out more. As we find out more, we'll let everyone know. But at this point, that's what we are gearing to, that at the end of this, in the last month, we'll see in the schedule later, that there will be an interaction with the international community, okay? So very kind of dynamic and active situation here this semester. I hope that it doesn't overwhelm you, right? But rather that it kind of gives you a platform to interact with the international community, and you see this neuroscience is not just like within the scope of Taiwan or Taita like that only. It really is a very, very rich network. and hopefully we can give students a chance to interact and to have a flavor of this, and also to do networking. Okay, for some of you who might be thinking of graduate school or other career things, we hope this can be a platform for you to have friends in international communities and use this to make connections. Okay. All right. Any questions about that part, the international part of this course, the BrainHack School? Okay. If not, then let me get into the proper course admin for at least, I'm just going to switch gears to now just focus onto the brain data analysis methods course. Okay, so GIBMS 7021. But what I say here applies to those of you in the Neurolinguistic or Zhongyang University. And if there are some Singaporean people joining us, it will apply to you as well. But of course, it will, like, you know, your TAs over there will translate as appropriate for your program over there. Okay, so this course, at least for brain data analysis, the local instructors are me and Prof. Jia Lin Li. But we are not the only instructors. There are the other instructors from the other schools and programs, and we will introduce them later. And although we listed here that we meet on Friday 1:20, as I said later on, actually this is just for us to have a placeholder. You don't have to come here every Friday, okay? In fact, it will be like your self-paced, even during the last few weeks when we have more symposium-like things or discussion things. This Friday 1:20 is just kind of like a placeholder, okay? So don't worry too much about that. But that being said, this classroom will be open for you guys to come and meet and discuss definitely every Friday 1:20 during the semester. Okay, and you can use the future classroom resource facility accordingly. Okay, all right. So that would be in terms of the course timing and venue arrangements. All right. Now, then let's talk about the course aims and objective, what we try to do here. So this is very open, okay? Really what we want you guys to do is to engage with advanced neurophysiological data analysis and pre-processing techniques, okay? What this means is some of you would have taken maybe basic level, like for maybe some of you have done my fMRI course last semester, okay, or previous years. Then you want to do something more advanced, okay? So this is for you. You come here and you have already done some basic fMRI and you want to learn more advanced fMRI course, okay? Analysis. Then this is the place for you. Some of you, or it may not be fMRI, it may be EEG. Maybe you took Professor Charlene's EEG course and you want to do something more advanced. That's fine too. And that ideal, okay? Some of you don't have background, you know. I would say that it is not easy to jump, right? But we never exclude you. You can use this opportunity also, okay? For those of you who have not that kind of prior background, then you can switch gears and to think of this as kind of like your way of sort of take a taste of neurophysiological analysis. So like you can then use the tools that we will go through in this course, and then take it as an introduction of your way of knowing how to handle brain-related data. Okay, so we cater to both levels, but it is very dynamic and very flexible for that reason. So, and this is you traditionally been a good dynamic because at the end of the semester, when people are presenting your projects, right, we would have a very rich kind of coverage where people doing very basic stuff or doing small, and it's fine, right? And we really welcome people who are courageous to do that. Okay, and then but at the same time, you will see a lot of the more advanced stuff. And we don't care. We don't care about whether it is advanced or not advanced. What we care about is that you will learn and apply something to do with brain data. So it's like really the key metric is you will see when we do the grading, it's like you will propose a project. You'll familiarize with the tools. Then you will propose a project of what you intend to do, okay? And then over 4 weeks, you will do it. And then after 4 weeks, you will present what you have done. And what you have done can be like you did what you wanted to do, or you tried to do what you wanted to do, but you didn't do it, okay? But you did something, right? There was some change. And as long as there is that change, you're fine. Okay. So for example, I a project could be, okay, which for this course grading, a project could be, I want to learn how to open and uh, uh, get a picture of a brain image. All right. I didn't, and I'm not from a neuroscience background. I don't know how to do that. I don't know the software. So I propose something like that. I just want to know how to cut a nice, I see all these pretty brain pictures. How do I do something like that? Okay. What does it mean? Okay. So then your TAs will work with you to decide whether that's appropriate level of project difficulty for you. And if that's okay, yeah, that's your project. And then at the end, you can say, so I have learned how to use SPM to open this, and I've taken this image, what this means and all that. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. Okay. Some of you would be, obviously, you know how to open brain images and do that. I want to learn how to use functional connectivity, machine learning to decide if this person is a schizophrenic or normal and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, that's fine. And then you do that as long as you some change in a project, that's fine too. So you have learned and you have applied what you have learned in this course. Okay. So we are very flexible, very dynamic, very open, very varied here. Okay. What we do not accept is if you already know all the advanced stuff and then you say you come here and I just want to open a brain image, okay, your TAs are going to knock you down and say like, no, sorry, that's not acceptable, fail. Okay. All right, that's not acceptable. What's not acceptable also is if you come here and you think that you don't want to do and you just want to observe, and all that, and then just kind of piece together something that you already had, right? Instead of engaging and trying to push yourself a bit, right? Which is similar to just now that problem, right? That's not acceptable too, right? We want you to learn something new and apply it, not kind of use existing thing and then just rehash something, okay? Now, it can be that you already have your own data and you want to, in that sense, you already know stuff and you are already working at it. That counts in the sense that because you have your own data, you are working at something to develop some result, some new finding. So that's okay. What I mean is like it's not like you already have some results and then you just posted your thing that you're already done before the course. That would be questionable. Okay. And to determine that, you will work with your TAs. Your TAs will tell you like, yeah, I think this is too simple for you. Or the TAs might even say, I think this is too difficult for you. I advise you to try something else. There will be a lot of dynamic during the course of these few weeks. And then the other thing is after you have learned and applied that, the other aspect obviously is that you want to learn how to share your findings. So a lot of it is also you have a lot of results and your analysis. You want to then package it into a visualization, into a graphic, into a report that you can then share with other scientists, other students, and together you can learn together. Okay, so it's not okay if you have a bunch of results and then you just kind of put a spreadsheet of numbers up there. No one is going to understand what that means. Okay, so beyond just getting those spreadsheet of numbers, a big part is, okay, how do I convert that into a meaningful plot so that when people see, they also understand what I have found about, Alzheimer's disease or about normal brains, about memory, about attention, or how neurons work, things like that. Okay. So how to not only learn and apply, but then also share and package your stuff into some products. Okay. So that's just these two objectives that we hope to achieve for everyone. Any questions about that? Anyone afraid or scared off yet? Not. No, it should be okay. All right. Okay. So don't worry. We are very like nurturing environment. So okay. So let me carry on then. As we as you have read in the syllabus, right, we are talking about analysis of brain-related data. This includes EEG, ERP, okay, so electroencephalography, 就是脑电波, right? You put the electrodes on the scalp. And or MEG as well. Some of you might be working or interested working with magnetoencephalography at our Yonglin Zhongxin there we have one, right? Or maybe in your lab you have one. And obviously also we most popular or most common is MRI. We only talk a lot, you will find that a lot of the courses are about MRI related data, but that's not because we think that that's the only way to do things. Okay, certainly not. Actually, MEG, EEG should take equal importance. The only reason why you will find most of the materials are MRI based is because the people who initiated these tutorials that you will go through are mostly MRI people, okay? But we actually welcome people who you are doing EEG already and you will feel confident that in the future you want to contribute some EEG or ERP or MEG tutorials. That will be integrated into the BrainHack School as we go along, all right? So please be reminded that we treat all these data equally. We do not think like one is more important than the other. The only reason why we have more MRI is just because the people we know, have are from that discipline. But we very much need and welcome people from other disciplines to come and enrich the content. And so this course is a growing thing. In fact, when I started it, there were 20 tutorials or modules. Now there's 24, and maybe we will go more and more in the future. Yeah. Okay. And I was gonna say, yeah. So if you have data, you can either work with data that you have in your lab, okay, or you will see that we do kind of teach you how to get open data. So you can download existing data. There's so much out there nowadays. Okay, so in terms of data and data types, that's what we have. And the learning format, as I said, this is conducted in collaboration with the International BrainHack School. You can go and browse to their website over there, all right? But at least for here, what we take from there is that and therefore we do this format, which is there's at first a self-paced learning phase, okay, which we call the preparation phase. And then there's the project practical work part of it, which will kick off more in the international phase. But for Taiwan, you guys can already start it now, okay? And Singapore as well. And what we mean in detail is this part here, okay? So the preparation phase, which we will now be going into now from today onwards, from mid-February to the end of April. The preparation phase, Taiwan students and Singapore students as well, okay? Y'all will be using your own self-paced, self-time to do self-paced learning of these modules and tutorials, which I will show you later, okay? Which means what you do is just go to those websites, look at the videos, do those tutorials or review it. If you have questions, you can ask the TAs on Discord or each other, okay? And or try to solve it yourself, okay? But that's it. And this will happen from February to April, kind of hands off, we won't be doing much, all right? But you should be thinking, and if you have questions, you should be taking initiative to ask. Because come May and through to early June, we will go into the international phase. And that's where things get really tight and confusing, because then on Discord, we will be saying, okay, we're going to meet and we're going to make you into groups. We're going to have you propose your project. What do you want to do? What have you learned? Submit some of your tutorials. All right, now present your proposals and then start working. You want to meet here and start working at it, get your data, working at it. And it's all squashed in 4 or 5 weeks, okay? And then after that, you'll be like totally exhausted, but you have learned something. Okay, that's the plan. So this is the format. There's be a preparation phase, which you guys should be responsible. We won't track you. So we have minimal tracking, but it's really your own time. Then at the end, it will be a very intense and engagement with a lot of different people. Okay, so you can take this sort of like, I like this way of thinking about it, is that we are preparing for a symposium conference meeting, right? So at first, like we're just doing our preparation lightly. And then right at the end, we're like ready to then get our product together. And then when we have it, we can share it with everyone. So it really is kind of like a conference preparation pipeline. If you want to, if you want to think of the format that way. Okay. Now the TAs for the preparation phase, the TAs will be mostly the local TAs, and we will introduce them. I will introduce them later. There'll be the local TAs, but and that includes when the Singapore hub comes on, they will also engage. So the Asian TAs, okay, that's because International BrainHack School, as I suggested, does not actually start until May, if they start at all. So their TAs are not online. All right. So for now, during preparation phase, 我们是怕输. So we start first. Okay. And then the Westerners, when they come on, they think that we are so 厉害, that kind of thing. Nah, it's just kidding. It goes on record. But it's sort of like, because most of the content is in English, if all of the content is in English. So some people in Asia may not be as, confident in English, don't want to take things for granted. So this also gives us time to get used to the content and the style, right? And so I think it's respectable for us to actually be prepared. And then when we join the international community, hey, we can really engage in a much more productive way rather than still struggling with language or other issues. Okay. Although I believe that you guys, every year I feel the English standard goes up. So, I'm less and less worried about that. So in any case, the preparation phase is going to be this way, self-paced from February to April. And you can tap onto the local Asian TAs for questions and discussion. They can feel free to arrange with them if you want to meet face to face rather than on Discord. It's going to be flexible, but we are not going to have regular meetings, so it's up to the students to take initiative to reach out. Okay. All right. Any questions about the preparation phase? About those online? Okay, if not, then the international phase, as we go into, that is when we will join the international hub. And here you will submit. So there's a lot more going on now, right? So you will submit your tutorials, your weekly tutorials. So as a distinction, preparation phase, we only ask that you view the tutorial videos and all that. We will have the monitoring using NTU Cool, right? We can see if you have viewed it. But we don't ask you to submit anything at that point. But when we go into the international phase, we will ask you to actually submit some tutorials. There are 24 possible modules. I think we only ask you to submit 10 out of 24. So you can't possibly do 24 tutorials. Okay. But you could have done it already, right? And then when you come to the international phase, you just, hand up 10 of them kind of thing. All right. So that's that. But more importantly, you will then propose and then start work on, and then at the end, submit the report of your project, your research projects, or your application of those tools and techniques. Okay. And the hope is that you will work collaboratively. Don't just quietly work by yourself. Try to work as a team, and with the guidance from TAs. And now, because it is international, it's not just the Asian TAs or the Taiwan TAs. You can feel free to engage with people. If the international hubs come on, as and when they do, you can engage with them as well. It's supposed to be open that way. Just bear in mind of the time difference. Although some of you are like awake at night and sleeping in the day, so no problem. Okay. So the final week will be a symposium. So that's really the aim here, is we want you guys to present your findings, okay, and learn how to share your findings. And then we will also be organizing talks by faculty and other professionals. This is, we hope to be able to do that, but it depends on the schedule and depends on the availability. Faculty, no issue. It will be the teachers and then maybe some other academics. We will invite them, okay, to share their research findings. Professionals, what we mean by professionals are people who are in the commercial domain or industry. Okay, if we can get some connection and get them to come and give a sharing, We hope to do that as well. All right. And really, we found that to be very inspiring and helpful, because not everyone wants to be in the academic. Some people want to learn this but go into industry. That's completely fine, but you don't know how. So we hope that having this as an opportunity will give you some guidance. I mean, I also don't really know how. I'm not in industry, but people from industry might come and give us some insight about what they're looking for, what steps their experience into. For them, some of them were from academic and then they jumped to industry. You know, what was their life like? What steps did they take, and what to watch out for? So this part also we will see if we can factor that in, and this will all happen during the international phase from May to June. So that period will be very intense. So because of that, let me jump to that last part. Because in Taiwan, that last 4 weeks in May and June, okay, which is this period here, okay, tends to be your exam period, right? So if you envision that you have other courses where you have 期末考 exam and it's quite intense during that time, then now you know, please prepare ahead of time so that you know that BrainHack School will be very intense during that period. And so you can, make your preparations as you can so that when you go to that period, you can still be part of the BrainHack School symposiums and meetings and all. You don't want to miss out on that, the most exciting period, just because of some stupid Timokal, right? No. So I believe you can prepare, right? For example, you can prepare your projects ahead of time so that when you get into the international phase, it's not so intense. Or your other courses, you know that you still have to do this BrainHack School thing. You have this opportunity to, join the symposiums. So your other courses, you prepare so that the Timokal, you're not so panicked and all that kind of stuff. All right, so your mature adults, you can handle that. We tell you ahead of time and give you some fair warning about like the overall schedule. Okay. All right, so that's about the learning format, preparation and international phase. Any questions about that schedule? Okay, if not, then we talk about how we will be teaching. And that would be, we will be using the Discord platform. How many people have heard of Discord or are using Discord? Give your raise a hand. Okay, who hasn't, doesn't know what Discord is? Okay, a few. Okay, not that many, but there's some. Those online, okay, it's okay if you don't know, but like you have to get to know it now. All right, Discord is kind of like Slack. What else? I guess it's a social media. I don't know what it is. It's kind of a communication platform, right? All right, and all that. Okay, it's a chat program, come video meeting thing, come like discussion board, blah blah blah, with apps and stuff and all that. Okay, so it's very powerful. Okay, and there's a link here. I think we do have an introduction to Discord as one of the resources. You have everything is there. If you spend time to click through all the links and learn, eventually you will learn how to use Discord for sure. Okay, so we will be communicating with you, as I said, mainly through Discord. So after this course, our primary platform for communication, the TAs will engage with you on Discord directly. And so we will tell you how to get into our Discord server. We will send invitations to everyone to register so that you can engage on Discord. Okay, and the reason why we use Discord is very simple, because of time difference, because of the international phase. Okay, there's gonna be people in America, Canada, South America, and all that, right? They will only be awake when we are asleep, and we are awake when they are asleep. So when we have questions and we can't immediately talk to them or even meet them face to face, you can't always say, oh, let's have an online meeting, and then talk about the problem. You can't like email them and then them email back, and then it's just between the two of you, and then you get CC all over the place, and then your email get clogged up. So have a common discussion board that has some sort of a dynamic and it's easy to use and it's kind of like very attractive interface and all that kind of stuff with functions. Discord is sort of ideal for that. And that way you can post your question. Then maybe 12 hours later, someone from the other side of the planet answers your question, or vice versa. Okay. And you can feel free to say, hey, let's set up a meeting. It seems like we need to set up a meeting online. Yeah, you can do that. And Discord also has a video conferencing, or you can use Zoom or whatever. But it is a great way to kind of bridge the communication gap across the whole planet, across time zones, and to have content that is, most important thing for me, Discord doesn't delete your discussions. Slack does unless you pay money, right? But Discord is free, and you can have a lot of your content just logged there. You can come back to it years later and kind of go back to what your discussions were. Okay, so that's the main platform. Everyone, since I see most of you are familiar with that, I'm not too worried then. But those of you who are not, it's okay. Just go ahead and familiarize by going onto the links. And so we will use specifically when we are doing the preparation phase, we will communicate with you on the Taiwan Discord server. And we will send out invitations to you later, okay? Then when we go into the international phase, we will switch over to the international Discord server, and we will give you the link when that comes online. All right, for now, that's not yet up, so we're gonna hang on that for a moment. And then after that, you can either use the Taiwan server or the international server, depending on who you want to reach out to, or what's your need there. Actually, some of the international organizers, they also will be part of our Taiwan Discord server. All right, but maybe some of the international users, won't be in our Taiwan Discord server. So just know that that's the way the community is arranged. Okay, so that's the main teaching platform, Discord. Any questions about that? Should be okay. All right. So finally, what do I need to be part of this course? Okay, obviously you need a computer. So, and your own computer, we're not going to give you one. Okay, and you have to, sometimes people think like they come for a computer course, oh, there'll be computers in the lab. No. Okay. You will bring your own laptops. You are responsible for your computer. We cannot have the TAs and us, my computer can't work this, what do I do? Well, you have to sort of learn how to figure it out yourself, right? I mean, if you really are trouble, you can post onto the Discord, hey, I have some trouble installing this software. Does anyone have a similar problem? And chances are you will get some response somewhere, and that maybe the TA can jump in as well. That's fine too. But just know that we really cannot be too responsible for your own setup. So that level, you have to cross that barrier yourself. Okay. So personal computer with the software installed as you need for your project. You will definitely need Discord, obviously, and you will need a GitHub account. Okay. GitHub is an online repository, sort of like a Google Drive, but more version updates and like more specific for project use rather than general file storage. Okay, so GitHub is what you will be posting your project report progress on, meaning that when you finish your project, you have your code, you have your sort of sample data or your results, you have your graphs and plots and figures, you have your discussions and analysis, your text, right? You will compile that into sort of a GitHub web page or README, Markdown README file, and you will post it on the GitHub repository. That we will look at that. We'll see like, oh, you have a report like, your hypothesis, the methods you use, your code, what data you got, what was your thought process, what was your methods, and then what was your findings and conclusions. Plus, you will record or present in the symposium, and we can either record it as a video, or you might have already a video. You can post that onto the YouTube or the GitHub as well. So that becomes a portfolio for you, a project portfolio. Then when you apply for a job, you put it in your CV that this is my project repository report. And in here, I discuss what, and you can put the GitHub link there. And bosses would be like, they'll look at it. Oh yeah, this person is done quite a bit, right? Okay, and it's pretty obvious, right? I just put it on the GitHub. So this is like a very, I would say, productive way. Not only you do this for this course as part of this course grading, it's actually a very useful, practical thing for your career development as well. Okay, so that's why we're gonna use this, GitHub. All right. If you're not sure about these Discord, GitHub, and all that, we have the technical help, and feel free to click on all of these. We'll go into detail, in later weeks. But for now, just know that those are the um, uh, resources that you will need. Okay, the course requirements. Okay, apart from these softwares, hardwares, as I said, if you have coding and cognitive neuroscience background, that's obviously going to be a good for you, but it's still optional. Okay, so you certainly don't put it past people who are very intelligent and motivated that you can still catch up as needed. All right, at least to complete your project. All right, and the most important thing is you need to have initiative and motivation here. This course is not like the rest of the traditional courses. It's not a teacher standing here giving, and you have reading materials, and then I give you a lecture, you do some exam or do some homework, and then you learn something. None of that. Zero format like that. Okay. Instead, you will see, as you see, it is really your own learning that you will decide how much you get out of this course. We are here, the TAs and the teachers are here to give you the environment. But the learning and the teaching is you yourself. You teach yourself. You learn yourself. Okay. And I think this is very important because at least I know in this field where things are growing very rapidly, we very often step into domains where no one knows what it's about yet. It's very fresh, very new. So no one is there to teach you. Okay. You have to be able to learn how to teach yourself. That's a very important skill. Okay, so we hope that in this course you take this opportunity to also kind of cultivate that kind of self-learning ability. Okay, very important. And I always say this to all my students and classes, and we do this in this safe situation, right? In a sense that it's okay to try and fail, and because if you don't fail here, when else are you going to have the opportunity to fail? All right, because if you fail in the outside world, you get fired. Okay, you don't get a job. You fail here, you're not going to fail here. Okay, you fail here, it's because you didn't do the basic things you need, right? But if you did all that, you won't fail. Okay, so this is it's pretty clear. So it's okay to fail, and I think that is really what we want to convey, impart this kind of spirit to students. Okay, so it's a lot. How are people doing? Is it okay? Okay, okay, all right. And people online, if you have questions, do kind of like just kind of interrupt me anytime because I cannot see you, but if you have questions, you can just kind of turn on your mic and talk loudly and we can hear you. Okay. Okay, so let's go a bit more concrete in terms of assessments. All right. As we said, during the preparation phase, we will be asking you to review the tutorials. You don't have to submit anything, but you just have to click on the video and go through it and the tutorial pages. So let's say if I click here now, let's see, yeah, okay. So you can go to the, let's say, installation. Let's do Bash, okay? You can click on a page, and this is the Bash tutorial. You can read through it, and then there's exercises. You can try it out. During the preparation phase, you just try it out informally on your own, okay? Now, let me emphasize that, let's say for this Bash tutorial, there's a YouTube clip here, and you will be tempted to click on it and view it there. But if you do it through this method, we won't know that you did it, right? and then the TA will say you didn't do your like job. Okay, too bad, right? Okay, so please don't click this one. Okay, instead click this one. There's a video link here to the bash tutorial, which is the same thing. Okay, this is the same thing. All right.
Sorry to interrupt. I think on our side
Sorry,
online,
someone have a question?
sorry, it's Yongsheng here.
Oh, you
So
don't see it, right? Sorry.
yeah, we only
Hang
see
on a minute.
the.
Let
Yeah.
me change my presentation to this one. Do you see it now?
Yep, on the BrainHack School website. Yep.
Yeah, BrainHack School website is like what I did was I clicked on the page link of the tutorial, and that brings me to the BrainHack School tutorial page. And as I was saying, let me repeat that. This is the bash tutorial. You can read through it and you can try out the exercises informally during the preparation phase. Okay. And you might see the YouTube link there. Don't click on it, because if you use this one, we won't have a record of you viewing the file. Instead, or the video. Instead, if you click here on this video, okay, you will come to this one, which is the NTU Cool link to the same YouTube clip. This way, when you click on it, we will see like, how, whether you have viewed it or not. And then the TAs will know, yeah, this person is keeping track of progress. Okay. All right. So just bear that in mind. And I know, this generation, y'all will do something like this, right? And then just do ×2, whatever. Yeah, whatever, right? Just do whatever you want. I mean, it's like, you as long as you learn. And many of you, maybe you might know Bash already, so you don't need to go through that, right? It's fine. Okay. But just keep up the metric, and it shouldn't hurt you to just let the video play, yeah, if you already know it, right? And then that way we can monitor your progress, because then later on there will be more complicated things, right? And so yeah, you can do your self-learning at your own discretion. Okay, so this is the tutorials setup, and this is for the first few weeks up to end of April, where we will ask you, basically the idea is if you do 2 videos per week, and because you will have about 12 weeks, right, including this week, you will finish 24 videos, right? And in fact, there's only 23 videos, but there's 24 tutorials. One tutorial doesn't have video. This is just a rough thing. We don't expect you to really only do 2 or do like 2, keep to 2. You can do all of it in 1 week, or you can do none of it, and then the last week you do all 24. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. All right. But we just, as long as you keep 2 per week, you're fine. All right. So that's just a rough guide. Any questions about that? So if you do that, we only care, the TAs, okay, will be the ones managing this, and they will only care if you did it or you didn't do it, okay? And then if you did it, all of it, you will get 10% of the total grade, okay? So you're guaranteed like 10% as long as you click the videos and stuff, okay? Then when we go into the international phase, we will ask you to submit 10 tutorials, okay, by week 15, which is the 3rd week of the international phase, because the last week is supposed to be like purely project work and presentation. So up to that week 15, you have that time to submit 10 tutorial assignments, upload them to NTU Cool. We will be opening the assignment kind of function later on. Okay, and then the TAs will tell you how to do that. And again, if you complete it, you will get it, and if you don't complete it, you won't get it. And then if you do all of it, all 10, you will be guaranteed 30%. So then you have 40% just because you clicked things and uploaded things. Okay, all right. The most important or majority part of it is, of course, the project presentations. Okay, here we will, in terms of the actual grading content, we will ask you to submit your projects as a Git repository, meaning you post your project products on your Git repo, then you give us your link, right? And then we will go take a look. And also you will present it at the same time. You present your video, the talk or a seminar presentation or symposium presentation. And then we will be rating or grading your presentation. It'll be the instructors, so the teachers will be doing this. And then you will receive this 60% based on the performance of the repo and the presentation. Now, the topics of your projects, okay, will be determined with the TAs, and TAs will maybe sometimes consult with us depending on how easy it is to solve the problem. Okay, then they will tell you what they think should be feasible or meaningful. Like I said, if they think like this is too simple for you, all right, please listen to them. Okay, or if they think that this is too difficult, you know, right? Sometimes, actually, more often we get people who propose things that are really just too difficult, like very 伟大, you know, the project problem, but we know you can't do this in 4 weeks. Okay, we can't do it in 4 weeks. All right. So listen to the TAs. They say you need to put brakes on a little bit, right? Maybe try this part first. Okay, please listen to them. So they will kind of discuss with each of you. I mean, along the course, we will split you guys into groups and assign TAs and all that. So you will go to your primary TA, and then kind of like they will consult with you what to do or what's practical. Okay. Okay, and then just to again reiterate, we are very flexible on the topic itself, right? I mean, as long as you learn something and you can apply it to some real data problem that you are working on, that's fine, and that you can do it within this time frame, that's fine. Okay, so it's really quite open, and as I said before, we do not restrict to like when whether your project has to be like really advanced or really something very entry level, very basic. But that judgment is based on when the TA interacts with you, you know, they will make a recommendation that what is appropriate for your level of expertise. Okay, so that's it. In terms of grading, it's just that view the tutorials, submit 10 of them by week 15, and then worry about your projects with each other, with group or by yourself, you know, that kind of thing. And that would be BrainHack School for you, and interact with people all over the world in the Discord hub. Okay, right. So that's the grading requirements. Time schedule wise, just to reiterate, the first 12 weeks will be the preparation phase. Okay, this is today, week 1. This is today, and I will go through a little bit more detail after this of the instructors, introduce them to you. But then just to give you an overview for the preparation phase, this a bit more detail about the tutorials. You can take a look at it yourself. And then during the international phase, the international phase, let me clarify that in the first week, you will see that it's still 100% working on the modules, the tutorials. That's because we are Taiwan, we start first. So we think like we already know the modules tutorial. So why do we waste the first week? That's because the international people, they haven't started yet. So you give them a chance, give them 1 week to catch up, so to speak. Okay. All right. But you can use this time to work on the tutorials and submit the 10 tutorials. Okay. Then as the week the second week of the international phase, we would ramp down the modules a little bit and up ramp the project requirement involvement. So by then you should have your pods or group assignment. What this means is that you should have by then be sort of in your mind some keywords about what you are interested in specifically, more specifically. So for example, you will say, I'm interested in EEG. I'm interested in young adults. I'm interested in language. Okay. So then maybe some other people are also EEG, young adult, language. Then we will group you together in a pod. Okay. And then some people are interested, I'm interested in patients. I'm interested in brain MRI. I'm interested in clinical. Then, you know, there'll be some other pods. So we will ask you your keywords, and then the TAs and the teachers will arrange keywords and then assign you to your pods. And in your pods, then you will work out your project proposal and pitch your project. So there will be one round where you kind of do 5 minutes to saying like what I want to do, and then everyone will say like give you comments and suggestions. Okay, so then that would be the week 2 of the international phase. Week 3, you will continue your project implementation. All right, and hopefully you would have finished all your tutorials by then. Okay, and then there might be, I don't know what's this inspiration. You're supposed to be inspiring. Huh? Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Some people get distressed because they're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. The TAs at that last part will tell you, here's some examples of what has been done before. Actually, that should be available already there. I can go to it later. Okay. But yeah, all right. So that's kind of like a last stop. The TAs can kind of tell you, give you some inspiration. Okay. And then the last part would be the project presentation, finish up the last few bits of your project, and then present your project. If needed, and I think it will be likely needed, we will spill over to week 17. And that's where the Singapore group, the plan is for them to come here. And then we will have a in-person exchange with them and all that kind of stuff. And let me emphasize, okay, this 4 weeks of the international phase, right? It's very intense and dynamic. We want you to be working very busily at your project. But because you're in your pods, we also want you to have fun. So one part of the BrainHack School thing is if you are in your groups and working together, and then you decide to go and have beer, okay, which is fine with me. Go and take a picture like you're having fun, and then like if you can post it into the Discord, there will be a fun channel, I think, right? Then post your Discord, hey, we went to the zoo today to talk about neuroscience, kind of thing. Sure, why not? We went to Mao Kong and took the thing and drank tea and then look at the mountains and then talk about brain stuff, right? Or nothing or whatever. So that we very much welcome that kind of interaction as well. We want that to be really fun. So, and especially the Singaporean group comes here, all the more excuse you all can bring them to some special place and then have fun. Okay. A bit of background on that is because traditionally, back in COVID, right, when they had this, everyone was online, right, and so that got kind of depressing. So they wanted things to have more fun. So they used this Discord, and then they took pictures of them in their rooms, have like some people have online happy hour, right? Like, oh, I'm so depressing. I'm just having my beer, but everyone's online having their own beers, each in their own apartment, that kind of thing. But it became a thing that it's not just about working, but also learning how to socialize and have fun together. Okay, so that is, I want to pitch that to you guys, so you just don't think about this as just all work and no play. There should be quite a bit of fun as well. All right. Okay. Wow, that's a lot. Any questions? So the question schedule, the framework, the motivation, and all that. Yes. Right. We have 3 TAs only. So that's a very, very important question because I know that there are a lot of people lined up in the can't register for. We have capped it at 15 people, right? And then there are people who are spill over to and register in the linguistics part, and then there's the Zhongyang side, right? So we don't want to overload the TAs, but we are trying to keep it to be about, if we have about 15 people, maybe 16, 17, right? Then each TA maybe 5 or 6 people, something like that. Okay, which means that the pods will be about that size. Now, that being said, I'm not, don't forget that there will be Singapore TAs, there will be 3 of them as well. Yeah, so they will come online in about March. I think the Singapore TAs will come online in March. And you can feel free to engage with them as part of your pods as well. Okay, and I don't know how many students the Singapore side will have, but since we have so many resources, we can have the TAs kind of share out the load accordingly. Okay, yeah, so about 5 to a pod plus minus. All right, any other questions? And since you're at it, let me just quickly go to, if you're curious if you click onto the international BrainHack School site and you click on projects, this is a gallery of the past year's projects. You can take a look at what your predecessors have done. So voice and linguistic analysis. So no brain here, okay? So we're pretty open, okay? Not necessarily about brain, but you could make a case of how this might be important for brain, okay? And then obviously ADHD and these kinds of stuff. All right. Wow. What's that? Cool. Wow. All right. Can play games. All right. So you see all these things. I'll let you go take a look and see. These are the topics all here, and it doesn't have to be human. It can be animal work as well. Okay. So that be open, and it can be molecular work as well. Obviously, anything to do with brain that you can make the case is fine with us. Okay. So that is a kind of intro to give you some idea about like what kind of projects we are looking for or what would be suitable. You please do take the time to go through, for example, submitting a project, how to submit the project. All these have been painstakingly created by the previous TAs, and I will introduce them here. Before any other questions? Okay, so let me introduce the people involved. Okay, so a bit of history here first. Okay, so the BrainHack School, we didn't start it. Really, the people who started are the Pierre from University of Montreal, Pierre Belec. I don't have his picture. He's on the main BrainHack School page, but Pierre Belec from Montreal, okay, and Isil, they were the ones who really started it, and when they started it, it was a smaller group, and then later on they decided to include all of us, and we were very, very fortunate, and I was happy that we could have this opportunity. So I think really we started in 2022 in kind of like a very small, informal, local way, and then in 2023, that's when we really joined the BrainHack School with Pierre and Isil, and then Zhongyang and ourselves in Taita, we were the ones to engage with them primarily. And for us, myself, Charlene, and at Zhongyang, Junxian, Xu Laoshi, okay, we have been working at it since 2023. In 2024, we were on sabbatical. I was on sabbatical, so I didn't have the Taita one, but Junxian Laoshi carried on the Zhongyang one, and I think he also involved, I think Beiyi or maybe Chengda might have been there. I'm not sure. Okay, but this year so far we haven't included them because actually it's our fault. We have been too busy, and they are also busy on something else happening in June. So, but we hope that every year this would stabilize. It's still relatively young. We are into our third year only, and every year we only get one chance a year to adjust things. So hopefully, as we go along, BrainHack School Taiwan will become more and more established and more stabilized involvement. Definitely, we want to include more than we want to exclude. We have no reason to exclude. And your teaching assistants, okay? Hannah is here. Hannah, can you stand up? And then we can, yeah. Okay. Thank you, Hannah, for taking on this very challenging 就是有一点像 like listening to other people's problems and then contributing a solution, like yeah. No. Hannah is from my lab, and she's did her master's, and then she's now a RA, and then she's very experienced working with brain data as well. And the other person is Yongshen. Yongshen, can you say hi to everyone? Can you turn on your video so we can all see you? Yes.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi, Yongshen is the PhD student currently PhD student in our lab, and he is in Malaysia right now, right? And but he is online on Discord, and he will arrive in Taiwan end of Feb? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he'll be physically here at the end of Feb, but he's online all the time in Discord, so you can engage with him there. And then we have Ruoqi. Ruoqi, can you say hi? Oh, okay. Yeah. Ruoqi is at Zhongyang University, and then she is helping Prof. Xu Junxian on the mostly on the Zhongyang side, but we can also interact together jointly. And Ruoqi is at the moment the only TA that was also from the previous BrainHack school, so she's super experienced in conducting this. Oh, and since Prof. Li Jialin is online, do you want to introduce and say hi?
Hello，抱歉，我刚刚没有办法参加。我是李嘉玲，然后我在语言所，所以我跟吴老师还有俊贤老师，就是刚刚那个吴老师已经有讲过这个整个事件的历史了。那就是大概这样，就先跟大家说嗨。
Okay, thank you. I think I don't know. I don't see Xu 老师 online. 俊贤。
I'm not sure if he's coming.
Hey,
hi. You are muted.
You want to say hi? Sorry, I didn't see you guys the video because I was on the other screen. You want to say hi?
Oh, that's okay. Hi, everyone. So I'm Junxian at NCU. So it's very nice to see everyone here. Yeah, looking forward to see everyone's the report and involvement in this course. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. For those of you online, sorry I can't switch the video to see the audience. There's quite a bunch of students here. And I think there's also a reason is if we were to flip it so that you can see their faces, then they all have to sign permission so that we have to release the video. So it's like, so I think, okay, let's not flip the video. Okay, yeah, but yes, there's a bunch of people here, so it's a good group. Okay, so let me go back to the continue the introduction now. That's the Taiwan side, okay, for everyone. And then we go to the Singapore side. Yeah, I wonder are there Singaporean people here? Lisa is here. Is Annabelle here? Lisa, if you're here, why don't you introduce? Can you hear us, Lisa? She may not be active. It's okay. Oh, any Singaporean people there? Oh, Lisa. Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello. Nice to meet you, everyone. I look forward to meeting you all in June and see you around.
Yeah. Thanks. Lisa is a teacher at the NTU as well, and actually she's Taiwanese. so she's coming home sort of in in June.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other teachers online from Singapore or TAs?
I think Joyce is here as well.
Joyce. Yeah, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone. I'm Chaoyi or Joyce. I'm also Taiwanese.
Yeah. So actually, it's NTU literally in across all lands and all that. Anyone else from Singapore? Just make sure to get everyone. I can't see all the videos, so we can't see all the video. Okay, I think that's for the online people from Singapore. We welcome you, and then yeah, we are also looking forward to interacting on Discord and also in June and all that. We hope to really have fun during that time. And let me introduce the rest of the Singaporean teachers and TAs. So our other counterpart is Professor Annabelle Chen. All right, and she was a professor in Taiwan a few years ago. She's Singaporean, but she was in the psych department for a few years, and then after that she moved to NTU Singapore. All right, and she's there. She works on brain, as you can see, a very rich portfolio, and she was one of the key reasons why we have this NTU collaboration, because NTU Singapore has a program. They encourage us to conduct joint classes, and because of that, we can get funding for TAs and funding for them to travel as well. So it's really exciting opportunity. And then 教育老师 also we have she's also one of the teachers. Well, she's a research scientist, and then she's also one of the faculty that will be part of this course. And then we have Darren, Professor Darren Yeo. He's also at the psych department in NTU, Singapore. All right. I don't believe they are online. Are you guys online? Is Darren online? No. Okay. So Jiaoyi, you yeah, and Lisa, and then Darren's not online. And then the TAs, are they here? No TAs from Singapore at the moment? Okay. Then I suppose you can take a time to look through the TAs, but they will be online to take questions and interact with all of you also when the time comes, right? I believe, can I check, Lisa? So you guys start again in March, the mid-March, right?
Yes, it has been
Shall we-
approved. So
Okay.
we're starting to recruit the students right now.
Oh, okay, okay. And so just to make sure that you guys are, in terms of the materials that we have, because a lot of it we just updated in the past few days on our NTU Cool. And then if you guys wanted to kind of mirror that over there, it's fine. Feel free, and I let the TAs handle that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So other than that, this is to also let you know these are the other BrainHack School International hubs that are involved all over the world. Okay. The main hub being in Montreal, and but they have included people from Germany, Paris, South America, and now we have Singapore as well. Okay. And I do need to say, well, so Isil, Pierre, obviously, and then Natasha Houting, and also Yuxiang. I have to say that a lot of these materials that we are presenting now was actually prepared by Yuxiang in the very first BrainHack School. So I have to acknowledge, he really did a lot. So if you want to know who he is, you can Google him. He's at Tokyo right now. Okay. And really great help to us. And so these are the other TAs as well in the past. All right. And I know that all the TAs are really very helpful people, that if you ask them questions also, even if though they are not here now, if you have questions for them, if you see sometimes they appear in the Discord channel, right? Okay. Because they still have accounts in there. All right. So that oh, hey, yeah, these people, are part of a big family, a big community. All right. So that's really a good resource. Okay. So that's the introduction of the people that are involved. Any questions? Okay. If not, then the rest of the stuff, I'm going to let you guys kind of browse the website on your own. The tutorials are there. Okay, so now is the time to engage on your own for the next few weeks. But the TAs after this, will probably be posting on Discord to invite you to Discord, getting you to be having accounts in there, so that then we will be starting to communicate with you through the Discord channels. All right. So for that reason, please make sure that whenever you see something about Discord, don't just delete it like it's junk mail, because I know it looks like junk mail. Okay. Seriously, it does. So if you see something like Discord and all that, it's probably an invite from one of the TAs or whatever. Yeah, just go ahead and process it and follow the instructions. And then from there, we will kick things off, and you can hopefully be able to navigate the course on your own. And we will see you, I will see you more actively in May. All right. And I hope to have a great interaction with everyone. Okay. Any questions at all about anything here in this course? And also those who are online, let me switch it to those who are online. I'm going to stop sharing. Any questions from the online people? Okay, if not, how about here? Any questions? No. If not, then yeah, I think we're good. We're about a little bit over an hour, so that's not bad. considering the amount of things we have to go through. And
Josh,
I'm gonna.
there's a time. There's a question.
Yeah.
In
Where?
the
Oh.
Bington
Sorry.
asked, "What's your time for the physical class from May?"
Oh, okay, great question. For our physical class from May, we also don't really have a fixed meeting time. Okay, but we know that we will take into account that most of the people who registered are either free on Monday afternoon for the Zhongyang, right, or Thursday evening for the linguistics registered one, or Friday afternoon for those who registered for today's session. So if we organize like a hybrid online symposium where we want everyone to be involved, or in-person meetings, then we will prioritize these timings. I mean, I'm imagining that that would be the smartest thing to do. Okay. But other than that, because you will be working on your own personal projects in your pods, so you decide in your pods when you want to if and when you want to physically meet, okay? And I did say this before, is that just know that this room, this is Taida Yi Xueyuan College of Medicine room 508, okay, will definitely be open for people who want a space to meet on Fridays 1:20 to 4:20. So this room can be used for you guys to meet, and it's so big, so you don't have to worry. You can use one corner. If there are other people meeting, they can use another corner. So you can have this space as your resource to discuss or to meet. Or I believe Zhongyang Junqian, there you have your own arrangement as well, right? Yeah, and then maybe in linguistics there also should be able to find a space if needed.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And so in terms of physical class, from May, it's no different from right now, because we actually won't have a regular physical class. At best, we will have kind of online hybrid symposiums, and we will prioritize these possible timings. Okay. Does that work? Okay. Any other questions? No? Okay. All right. If there are other questions, obviously you can email us. You have our contacts all there on the website. But if not, then for today, I'm just going to close this session. I thank everyone, the Singapore teachers, Jiao Yi and Lisa, for joining us. And then we hope to see you soon and interact more in this coming summer. And for Kevin and Jialin Laoshi also, right, we hope to be able to interact with everyone more dynamically in the near future. And thanks to all the TAs, Ruoqi, Yongshen, and Hannah here, who will be really doing more of the work from this few weeks onwards. And so I want to make sure that everyone here, in terms of the registration, I know some of you have some registration issues. If those of you who have registration issues and you want to talk to me, I'll still be here for a few minutes and we can talk about that later. If there are people online who has registration issues, then please, you can also stay online. I guess we can leave this channel on open and we can talk about that later. The rest of you, if you're done, then thank you, and feel free to log off, and we'll see you on Discord. Okay, thanks.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.